no point hiding. The awful truth is about to be revealed. Ooh. That's right, lock up your women and children because you're about to be taken hostage. Well, most of you anyway. Yes, it's time to reveal all and even a bit more in Durban with the plays of Week 3, or as we've dubbed it, the Week of the Mascot. Yes, there was a dancing lion in Joburg, a teddy in Kimberley, Sharky in Durban, and, whatever the hell this is, also in Joburg, Captain Hurricane in Wellington, and while the cranky koala was nowhere to be seen in Brisbane, how about a couple of angry Reds and some fired-up Brumbies?
Well, it's on at Suncorp.
Then it becomes oil wrestling. No one can stand up.
Yes, it all got a bit ugly at Suncorp, and I'm not just talking about the rugby. The fists and yellow cards flew while the claret flowed. Yep, even from the backs.
2 weeks in a row, backs with blood. Unheard of in the game of rugby.
A couple of number 9s even went toe-to-toe in Joburg, but this tussle was more like a robust game of Twister than a real stoush. Ref Brett Bowden putting it all into perspective.
The 2 heavyweights of the team. Not play some good footy, right? Good work. Thank you.
Well, I reckon you've probably had enough of the fisticuffs for the moment, if not for a bit longer, so let's get on to something a little lighter. Or perhaps lighter isn't quite the right term. This fella couldn't be prouder of his investment, or perhaps he can claim it back as a security device. Remember? Kidnap protection? Sorry, Dave. And while a Reds rookie almost brought out the comment of the week from Phil Kearns,
Well, let's tick it off. He can ground the ball, he can kick, and doing it all by at the same time wearing a buzzbeard.
we thought this exchange was the pick, as Nick Berry suffered a fate more common to the suburban playing field early on a Saturday morning.
What we call an Australian up and under. Normally seen in 4th grade fixtures down at your local club on a Saturday morning.
Some on-field landmines might just explain some of the contenders for the week's worst kick. Stephen Donald and Peter Hewitt both missing from point blank. But Philip Berger gave us the shocker of the week, but also uncovered a nominee for another award.
Well, he knows he's got a bit lucky there. His drop attempt was a shocker.
Here's the mark.
Beale's attempt at catching was equally as bad.
Yes, we had an early front-runner for the Percy, but young Mr. Beale redeemed himself a little later with this brilliant chip and regather for a try, but more importantly, it avoided the dreaded title. Making up the final list of nominees for the Percy were JP Peterson, Blues fullback George Pearcey earned a mention, Louis Stridham had the Lions wishing they'd eaten at least one of their young as he delivered not one, but 2 entries and all in the first 5 minutes of their match against the Crusaders. We thought Stephen Larkham had earned the Week 3 Percy hands down with this cracker.
Larkham!
But Callum Bruce gave us one that could well threaten for the Percy of the series honours. And while not technically a Percy, we have to give a special mention to this Reds line-out, aka disaster, from Saturday night.
That was the funniest line out in history.
To the hits of the week, and there were more than just a few that the refs and sighting commissioners ruled ineligible. Junior Palasace's 10 minutes in the sin bin for this nudge, we thought was just a little harsh. But there was no arguing with the sentence handed out to the Tongan Swede for this horror.
Thanks, Mortlock, coat-hangered by Johansson.
If Lucky Mulipola actually had the ball, we might have considered Francois Staines' attempt, but there was no denying Caleb Ralph standing his ground and showing wingers aren't the fragile units they used to be. Young Shark Bradley Barrett earned a turnover with this hit, putting him in the final queue, and Mr. Pearcey made an entry on the right side of the ledger this time for his encounter with Corey James. But one of his Blues teammates took the title, Luke McAllister, putting the wind up Hurricane Jimmy Gopper. And finally, wasn't it great to see Brayden Polster celebrating the Stormers' breakthrough win in trademark fashion? But this didn't win the celebration of the week. Brayden tried doing it with the lion's head on your shoulders. Well, did that hit the spot? Or perhaps we've got an overinflated opinion of ourselves. Well, either way, it's time for us to get the truck, among other things, out of here. Hopefully we didn't offend anyone. And as we say goodbye, it's farewell to Durban. Yes, you heard right. No more matches in Durban. Well, for a fortnight anyway, that is. But don't get too disappointed because you can dial in again next week when we take a peek at the bigger picture and take a stab at the good, the weird, and the wonderful, the plays of the week.